Hey folks, how's it going? I'm Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school basketball. Now, Michael Jordan is probably the most feared player in NBA history. I mean, we learned in the Last Dance documentary that even some of his former teammates were afraid of MJ. But that doesn't mean that Michael didn't fear anybody. In fact, MJ also had a handful of players that he, for lack of a better word, feared. So this is what we're going to take a look at in this video. But before we start with this video, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreons. Thanks a lot you guys for supporting the show. It's really appreciated. And I would say, let's get started. Alright, before we get started, let's define the word feared or afraid. In sports, we're not talking about somebody literally being afraid of somebody, but guys that you didn't really like to play against, and yeah, you rather would play against somebody else. Now, I want to start off this list with Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. Again, one of my favorite players of all time. If you talk to many Houston Rockets players of the mid-1990s, they will all say the same thing, that Michael Jordan did not like to play against Hakeem Olajuwon. And, well, they got a point. The Chicago Bulls always had a hard time against the Houston Rockets, and the Rockets were actually one of the few teams who could really compete against the Bulls. There were many guys of the Rockets who even claimed that if Michael Jordan would have not retired, the Rockets would have still been the repeat champion because the Bulls would have lost against the Rockets. Of course, we will never know, but it is a fact that Michael Jordan really did not like to play against Hakeem.
If you ask Michael Jordan what one guy he ever feared, it was Hakeem Olajuwon. He used to call us, I'm scared of the big African because he's from Nigeria. That's what he used to say because, you know, and the people out who are Chicago Bulls fans, I know this question comes up a lot. They always wonder, those two championships we won in Houston, we would have won them with Michael Jordan would have been playing? The answer to that question is yes, because they couldn't stop Olajuwon. We might not be able to stop Jordan, but they couldn't stop Olajuwon. We did have a guy that could kind of slow Jordan down and Vernon Maxwell. So before that question ever pops up, yes, we'd have won two championships if Jordan would have played.
And the next player on my list is Ron Harper, aka Hollywood Harp, who would later become Michael Jordan's teammate. Now, I'm very happy that Ron Harper got featured in the Last Dance documentary because many people just remember him as that role player on the Bulls team. But before Harper played for the Bulls, he was an all-star kind of a player. He was not a great shooter, but everything else he did extremely well. He was averaging about 20 points per game, 6 rebounds and 5 assists in the 80s. And defensively, it doesn't get any better than Ron Harper. In the Last Dance documentary, for a few minutes they focused on the 1988 shot from Michael Jordan against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The part where Michael Jordan said that Ron Harper would have been a better choice than Craig Elo. But before that game, Ron Harper and Michael Jordan already had a handful of great battles. And Michael Jordan would admit that he hated to play against Ron Harper because of his long arms and his tough defense. And what can you say? It was very true. In some games, MJ really had a tough time against Ron Harper, which again proves what a great defender Ron Harper was.
Just like Ron Harper. Ron Harper used to give Michael fits before his injury.
Well, he didn't outplay. He outplayed Mike.
Ron gave Mike fits before his injury.
Hold on, did he outplay Mike? He played him tough.
Ron Harper gave Michael Jordan fits before his knee injury.
So what you saying?
I'm just saying, there's certain people that gave him.
Did you ever beat Michael Jordan one-on-one?
Oh yeah. Mike, you know I gave you the business. You know me and Mike played a lot of basketball.
Court Sparrow to Grant. Grant top of the key. Grant stops, turns, hands to Jordan. Down to 1:05 to go. Jordan to the line. Jordan to the lane. The 12-footer blocked by Harper. Grabbed by Sanders over to Nance. How about that? Harper just redeemed himself. Into the forecourt, Harper. Harper on the right wing. 52 seconds to go. Harper against Jordan. Harper one-on-one when Michael spins by him, drives, and he is fouled driving to the basket. 44 seconds left. The foul is on Jordan, and it is number 5. It's the shot that may go down in Cam's history as one of those big ones. Pippen will inbound. Pippen, he looks, he deals to Corzine, and Harper stole the ball! Harper took it away in the backcourt with 8 seconds to go. He is finally fouled, throws the ball up in the air. Jordan is fouled out of the game.
And the next player that I have on my list is Mitch Richmond. For many fans, he was the first real superstar of the Sacramento Kings, and also prior to that, a vital part of Run TMC. But what many fans don't know is that Mitch Richmond was feared among the league. There was a reason for his nickname, The Rock. One of the strongest players ever on his position, Mitch was not only tough to guard, but also could really hurt you with his physical style of play. Many players and even Michael Jordan's teammates confirmed that MJ really hated to play against Mitch Richmond. And rightfully so. Hardly any player dropped as many points on Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls like Mitch Richmond.
What?
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of guys that were afraid of Mike, but there were a few that he was afraid of too now.
Who?
Come on now.
Who else?
He did not want to see Mitch Richmond. I'm telling you that right now.
Come on, man.
Man, Mitch Richmond.
With all due respect
that big
to
old head, he put that on Mike, swing it around. Mike was like, nah, I don't want to mess with that.
Richmond backs his way in, fading jumper is good. MJ puts up a three and hits.
He's 1 for 3 now and got 3 points from the outside.
Outside, Richmond, beautiful move. Comes off the screen, finds Steve Kerr, new corner for Tony. MJ with a post up. Backs his way in. Brings it down, passes off. Back up on top to Smith. Right side, Abdul Raouf. Shot clock at 12. Richmond and MJ in a little battle down low. Michael tried to get it. Good help from Tony. He still made it.
Tony looked like he blocked it.
Playing worse, you think? Richmond goes baseline. Oh, right back up. And he got it. He's fouled by Michael. Richmond drives baseline. Michael knocks it away.
Look at this. What a one-on-one battle here between these two guys.
Richmond, like yourself, a dream teamer, how much do you enjoy competing against a guy that's got talent like he does?
It's just a great challenge. I mean, you know, Mitch is going to come out and play well on both ends, and I just try to contain him as much as possible, not let him get into a good rhythm.
Is it difficult?
Yes, it's very difficult.
And the next player on my list is Bernard King. With Bernard King, it's a very special case. Old school fans that watched the NBA back in the 1980s remember Bernard, but if you don't remember him, don't worry, I got you covered. Bernard King was probably one of the most potent scorers who ever played in the NBA. Period. If it wasn't for his, let's say, off-the-court demons and his many injuries, he would have been a top 50 player, without a doubt. The special thing about King was that he had that mean look, and if he was in the zone, he could really embarrass you. He embarrassed a lot of legends, and if I say a lot, I mean a lot. Just talk to Larry Bird, Dominique Wilkins, Magic Johnson, and so on and so on. And even Michael Jordan had some games where Bernard really outplayed him. But with this guy, it's no shame. If you want to hear more about Michael Jordan and Bernard King, check out my channel. I have a video dedicated to that rivalry. Now for the last part of the video, back in the 1980s and 90s, when you still had many tough guys in the league, there were some guys that really nobody wanted to mess with. Guys like a Vernon Maxwell, a Charles Oakley, and so on. But Michael Jordan didn't shy away from these guys, as you can see with the following clip with Xavier McDaniel, a guy that really nobody wanted to mess with.
Here's Jordan. Scott Williams able to get to the loose ball, but he's bottled up. Jordan with the recovery, and Jordan is fouled. The basket counts and a foul, and Michael Jordan very upset about the way he was muscled.
What Jordan's upset about is Xavier McDaniel rotating across, just basically goes after his body to try and stop it. Jordan with the strength, the concentration, and now he is...
Timeout was called. Both clubs going at each other. Michael Jordan and Xavier McDaniel having words. Double technicals were called on McDaniel and Jordan.
What we said a moment ago down on the baseline foul that Jake O'Donnell was stepping in to send the message. This is step number 2 in the message sending process. The next one, someone's going to be ejected from this basketball game, which is a very serious step.
Alright you guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time on the Basketball Time Machine. Peace. I'm out.